Hey class, happy Friday. Maybe Saturday or Sunday before you watch this, but it is Friday evening here in the Ozarks. I wanted to share this with you before it got too late tonight. Working on your assignments, almost finished. I have completed your discussions and looked over your acknowledgments for the syllabus. I'll get in and acknowledge those acknowledgments here soon, but I have looked over them just to make sure. Went back, made some adjustments to the ask the instructor questions or reply to that, and I've kind of sent out some direct emails to address those questions, but I wanted to put some information in that form so you could get it and didn't think I overlooked it. So my apologies for posting that so late, but I did get those back to you. Working on the papers now. I only have a few left of those, and I want you to take a look at the feedback I gave you, even if you earn 100% on your discussions or your papers. I tried to give you some feedback in the paper as an attachment. I've tried to give you an example paper to follow. So please try to, let me turn that radio down. Please try to look at that feedback that I've given you so that it helps you in the future, as well as the paper. The paper should help you just a little bit as well. Looked like I was sideways there, didn't it? You're doing a good job with the ethical class, discussion of moral dilemmas, using some good ethical theory. I am proud of you as it comes to the research. Now, as we move on, it gets a little bit harder. We get a little more in depth with some of the definitions and some of the theory, and I want you to pay close attention to that. Ethics is an interesting field to me. I really enjoy it because it really makes you think about the things that we deal with every day. Now, we don't always think about the terminologies that we hear about, but we do think about those different situations. We deal with family issues. We deal with issues at work. I mean, you even get on the highways sometimes and you have road rage, or some individual has road rage. So those are all ethical dilemmas that we have to deal with, things that we have to work with, and we get to make decisions as to what is best for us, best for our family, and with mankind. And as you look at the definitions, as you get a little more in depth into what we're doing in the ethics class, I think you'll have some understanding about why people think the way they do, why we carry out the actions that we do. And in doing that, again, getting really in depth, we can better understand ourselves and better understand the world around us. It may very well change your worldview, and it certainly could help you to address issues, address problems a little bit differently. Now, this is a psychology class, then sociology, it's ethics, but I do think that really understanding why people react and do the things they do and deal with the ethics that we deal with and those moral dilemmas, it really helps us understand society, really helps us understand our own culture or some of those cultures around us. And then as those situations come up, whether it's on the job or personal or in relationships, we can stop for a moment and think about how we should respond, give us the best decision, help us to make the best decision when it comes to those different ethical dilemmas. Again, fire, EMS, law enforcement, in other words, we really have to do that. Now, sometimes what we do is we get into this robot mode. People are just people, and we're all different. Some of us have similarities when we look at it. You could almost group us into different little categories, if you will. And I think you'll see that as we look at our moral theory and we sort of understand our diversity as we go through the class. But you can almost figure people out much easier by understanding where they are ethically, where they come from culturally, and then how they fit into society. And you can do the same thing with yourself. So I think it's a good class. I think you'll continue to enjoy that. We'll continue to look at religion. We'll continue to look at culture and some of those different circumstances that we deal with, whether it's at work or personal. Now, you've shared some very very good points here this week. There's lots of moral content, lots of points, lots of detail that we examine within those moral dilemmas, those ethical issues and theories that we're focusing on. So I encourage you to continue to do that. And I'll tell you, if you spend some time, 30 minutes a day, just reading the book, reading the material and using some of those links that I've given you and really trying to understand, I really think you'll enjoy the class. It does make it easier for you if you enjoy it. I have a little bit of understanding of some of those theories that we discuss versus just trying to get through it and get the credits that you need to move on to the next class. Difficult to do that sometimes when we're working a lot of hours. We have a lot of family, personal pressures. May work 2 jobs. All those things I understand because I've done them. So, but I do think that you'll enjoy the class much more if you really take time to 20-30 minutes a day, maybe an hour, whatever, working those blocks to really try to understand the material and really read it. It gets in depth, as I've said. We really get philosophical to a point. And I have found that a lot of students that take that time to really read the textbook and really try to understand what all that means, if you want to say that, do enjoy the class and get much more out of it. If you achieve 50% and you get 50% out of it, you remember 50% of the terms, or at least have some better understanding of issues within our society and culture, then I think we've done something. So I am proud of you. I am impressed with the discussions and the papers that you've shared. Lots of good information. You're really researching and spending time. Now, I've attached, I believe I attached it to almost everybody's paper, try to get it to everybody. An example of an APA paper. Take a look at that if you don't mind. Hopefully that'll help you in the future. If you have any questions, let me know. But when you look at that attachment, that example, I don't want you just to look at those APA things I gave you with the headers, because the class is this is not a writing class. This isn't Comp 1 or 2. We want to hit those main assignments, those main points, and address those first, and then I kind of sort of help you with writing APA. Look at that sentence structure. You can identify both good and bad in that paper. There's some opportunities for improvement in there, but look at how those sentences are structured, how the flow is from the beginning to end, how the paper helps the reader understand the main points. It's supported with research. It has those main ideas. It just stays on topic, stays on point. Take a look at that. If you need me, let me know. I'm here all weekend. I'm always available by email and phone. Keep up the great work. I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job, and keep rocking. Have a good weekend. I'll see you in the discussion.